Hello and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I'm a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we're talking about bullet journaling, something we both love. Hey Janine.
Hey Shannon, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I feel much better than I did last week when we didn't record because I had COVID. No, we did record. Whenever it went. Anyway, pretty good.
Good.
Time is
That's
a blur.
all that matters.
Yeah, time is a blur, but it's been about 10 days, and tomorrow I can go out and without worry. So that's nice.
That's
out into
great.
The world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also very excited to be talking about bullet journaling.
Yeah. Because I've been bullet journaling. Bullet journaling for quite a while, and it was never appealing to you.
I know, it's so weird. It's like everything else, right? If you just keep doing it, I usually want to do it.
And then like everything else, you actually do all this research and then give me information that I didn't have, even though I've been doing it for years and years.
That's true. That's what worked. That was true of YNAB, and it was true of this. I'm not sure that's true of any other thing.
It's true of the car.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, you told me stuff that I didn't know about the car.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think that is sort of our mode, is like I work on you until you do something, and then you do it, and then you give me all the information that I needed on it.
Well, it's perfect because you get it going, and now I trust it. I don't have to worry that I always feel supported when I start in on something that you've been doing a while.
Yeah.
Yes, so you've been doing bullet journaling, and I was always like, oh, geez, that looks like so much work, and I'm all about electronic task management, and as you know, I was really into my Trello board.
Yes.
Like for like a year and a half until suddenly I wasn't. Well, not really suddenly. Gradually I wasn't. And then at the end of the year, I thought, you know what? I'm not looking at my Trello board. I'm writing a daily list, and I'm losing my lists. I got to come up with something better. And then I thought of bullet journaling. Well, Shannon, bullet journals. So I went online and I did a little bit of research because, this is going to be one of these episodes where I just chatter on. Sorry. I was just going to say that when I first heard about bullet journaling, when Ryder Carroll published that website 10 years ago, I was in your kitchen in St. John's when I saw it. And I think I showed it to you. It was brand new. Like I got wind of it on social media, and I was entranced by it. And I'm like, come Shannon, look at this. And then it felt like too much work or whatever. I never did it. But that's where I went. So I knew about that site. So in December, that's where I went to read about it. So I got the basics, caught up with the basics of it, and then I checked his book out from the library and I read and listened to it, and then I went on YouTube. And
oh God,
that's where everything went off the rails.
Yeah, that's where perfectionism can definitely raise its ugly head.
Yeah. So I wonder, before we get too far, before I chatter on much more, whether we need to tell people what bullet journaling is in case they don't.
I think so. Well, you're probably fresher with the official description.
Oh, perhaps so, since I just read a book about it, which is overkill. But
yeah,
it's the notion is, and correct me if you find that I'm not accurate in your experience, but you have a bound notebook, and you write everything freehand, and it becomes your planner and your journal and where you capture all your information. And the idea is, originally the idea was it's fast, it's okay to be messy. It's just for you, and you just capture stuff in the moment.
Right.
What would you add to that description?
I think that's really pretty much it. One of the key things that I think makes the original traditional bullet journal unique is having an index or a table of contents. Mm-hmm. I think he calls it an index, but it's at the front. So
you call it a table of contents.
I call it a table of contents.
Yeah, right. He does call it an index, yeah.
But you do that as you go along so that you can find stuff. And that has been so worthwhile to me.
Oh yeah, you're right. That's like the linchpin, right? Is that
right?
Yeah. Because of that, you don't have to worry about losing it. I was keeping in October, the last quarter of the year, I was using a notebook where I was just capturing everything chronologically. I wasn't thinking about it like a bullet journal, but and it worked great, except I couldn't find anything.
Right. And
I have now used Post-it notes on it to capture, doctor's notes and stuff so that I can find them again. But with the index, I call it an index. With the index, where you just write down significant pages. Like I changed my pricing for my business. Mm-hmm. I have a page for the 2022 pricing, and I can just turn to it, and if I know what page it's on now because I've turned to it enough. But I look in the index. Oh, that's page 44. Great. Whereas the bulk of the pages are filled with my daily log, which I don't index.
Right. What I usually do is because I do a weekly spread, because that's one of the things that I found really valuable to me, even though I keep all of my appointments, everything on the calendar on an electronic calendar. And I'm not going to stop doing that because I need those reminders and things. I found that it is really helpful to me to handwrite out my weekly schedule and the things that I need to accomplish in the week. And so in the index, I put that the week and what page it's on, and then everything else gets logged in under that. And one of the things about the log is that you can add multiple pages, like an index would have. So for instance, I was working on a workshop, and I had notes in several different places because I worked on it over time. And so I just put each page number next to workshop notes in the index. So I know that those are on, page 48, page 56, and page 58, for example. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's simple and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a great, I love that. It's one of those deals where it's easy. It's easy. I thought bullet journaling seemed hard, but in fact it's easy. And part of my thing was I felt like it was labor intensive to handwrite everything. But since I've gotten into handwriting things, it's great. Do you write a log, keep a log every day of tasks or what's happening?
No, I usually am operating off of that 1 week spread. But if I take notes for anything, if I'm going to write anything down, I write it down in my bullet journal.
In the next page that's available.
Yeah.
The next part of the page that's available, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's something that I know I'm going to have more stuff I want to write down about it, and there's, say I've only used a half a page on something and I know I'm going to have more notes on that, I'll just go to the next page. Mm-hmm. Just to, keep things consolidated a little bit.
Right. And I'm doing it slightly differently from you. I don't have a weekly spread. I have I started in the end of December. So maybe I've been doing a whole month, but the December notebook was in a super trial notebook. And then I pulled out a little more substantial notebook for 2022, and that's where January is. So I shouldn't talk like I'm experienced because I've been doing it less than a month. But what I'm doing that's working nicely for me, and I am definitely still in the bright, shiny object stage. So, I mean, the proof will be in over time how it might get adapted or whatever. And that's another great thing about it is you can adapt it however you want. But I have a monthly page with all the days of the month that I use for tracking the things that I want to do every day. And for me, that's yoga, genealogy, research, YNAB, blog, and I try to post something on social media every day. Although looking at my log, not so successful. But then that gives me one line per day, and I usually write the significant thing that happened on that day. So, for example, the day I tested positive for COVID, that's what I wrote that day. So if I wanted to say, what day was that? In the future, I could look, knowing it was, I'll always remember because I have a good memory for dates. But in theory, I could look back knowing it was January and see that it was January 12th. And then I have several pages. I made left 4 available for tasks for the month. And then I just have a daily journal. So every day I write the day and date. I write the weather, my gratitude list of 3. And then I just write, if I have appointments, I write them down. And then I just write down what I did. I'm sorry. Then I write down my tasks. That's the thing for me. It's all about the tasks, right?
Right.
So, and if I don't do the tasks, if I do the tasks, I put an X. And if I don't do the tasks, I move them to the next day. And I'm discovering that I'm getting tired of moving tasks to the next day. So I either move them back to my monthly list to be considered later, or I just do them. Because I'm so tired of moving them.
Well, and that's one of the sort of the built-in motivators of this system is that you essentially, I mean, you don't get forced, but you feel like you have to make a decision. Either I'm going to do this or I'm not going to do this.
Right, because it's in your face. I mean, if you're really interacting with it. And then if I have a meeting or something, I'll just plop it right in the middle of the day. I'm, in the middle of my daily log. I'll usually draw a color. I have a color each day. I have all these markers, right? So I pick a color for the day that I use for the date, and then I'm often continuing on to the next page. So I'll use that color for designating the date that it's page 2, and then I'll just put a line, and then write my notes, and then put a line, and then carry on with the daily log. So because of COVID and everything else, I've been at my desk a lot in January. Literally have barely left the house. So it's getting a lot of use. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to Walla Walla in a week, so it'll be interesting to see how it translates there. But I suspect it will be very helpful because I have things like doctor's appointments and stuff with my dad. So I'm excited to test that out.
Yeah, it has really, I mean, I've used it through so many different things. I used it through building a house and planning a wedding and dealing with my mom's, I don't even know what you call it, decline. I'm like, it wasn't really an illness, but, but I wrote down every time I talked to a doctor, I wrote it down in my bullet journal, and then I had all of that available to me. And
you would make a note in your index or your table of contents that's where that note was, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's really, that's fantastic. So you've been doing it for how long? Do you have any idea?
I've been doing some version of it. I think, because I used to use a notebook, I think when you showed it to me, and I think I started incorporating bullet journal techniques into my notebook. So, I don't know, 10 years?
Yeah, that's great. I know you were using it last time you were at my house, and you haven't been at my house in ages.
I know. Thanks, COVID.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's really great. What kind of notebook do you use?
the big thing I learned, having made this mistake a couple of times, I don't know how I made it a couple of times, but getting notebooks that don't have page numbers. It's so much better if you have a notebook that has page numbers. I had to handwrite in numbers.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Doesn't feel too laborious, but I only have the 2 notebooks.
Yeah.
And I just do it as I go. But I couldn't figure out if you were saying it was a mistake to not have numbers or if it was a mistake to have numbers. So I was waiting for the end of the sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, because obviously the pages have to be numbered for this to work. Mm-hmm. And do you use like a dot grid or lines or?
I've always used a dot grid. Mm-hmm. I've never used. I've tried using lined paper and then completely blank unlined paper, and I always go back to the dot grid.
Mm-hmm. Dot grid's great.
Yeah,
it's
I
so
love
forgiving.
Dot grid.
Yeah, and is it hardcover?
Well, the one I'm using right now, which I love the color of, but and I love how it feels, but it is soft cover, and turns out I really need a hardcover.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I write on it not sitting on something a lot. Oh. I write on it holding it on my lap or, whatever.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, maybe in our show notes you can share your favorite notebook because you have so much experience.
Yeah.
Or some favorite notebooks. And what about pens? What do you write with?
Right now, I find this sort of funny. Well, I had some no smear pens, which I can't find at the moment, which I really liked because when I was drawing in my weekly spread, I would inevitably smear it.
Mm-hmm. You're right-handed though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the poor left-handed people really have a hard time, I think.
Right. But I have these Pilot friction erasable pens. Mm-hmm. I have a blue one and a black one, and that's what I've been using.
Ah, and you find yourself erasing much?
No. Mm-hmm. But I like how they write, and I like that I can erase if I want to. Mm-hmm. And I'm usually going too fast to bother erasing.
Right. I mean, that's part of the beauty.
But they don't smear either.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So, yeah.
And I use, my favorite is the Pigma Micron 01. It's a very thin point, felt point, and it's what I've been using for postcards for a long time. So it's this the one I'm most comfortable with. But I use the, do you know the zebra mild liners markers? Do you know what those are? Yeah. So I use those for my color accents.
Ooh. The Micron pens, I press too hard and I destroy the nibs on them.
Ah, yeah. If you press too hard, they don't last very long.
No.
They don't last that long even if under my, I don't know, maybe I do press hard, but yeah. But they're still great. I like that, just the right amount of friction for me.
Yeah. It is fun. One time I read something that said, it might have been about writing morning notes or something, and they said, use a fast writing pen. Mm-hmm. I was like, what? And then I realized, there are pens that feel like I can write faster than other pens.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that's one reason I like the Micron is it is not a fast writing pen, and it makes my handwriting better because it slows me down. But when I'm playing my weekly Scattergories game, I'm using a fast writing gel pen because every moment counts.
Yeah.
So let's talk about YouTube because we started for a second, then we backed up. So the whole bullet journal world on YouTube, it was very discouraging for me for a few minutes when I discovered it. Like I thought, okay, I got this. I can do this. Cool. And then I said, well, let's see how people are doing it. And I go on YouTube, and these people were making these outrageously beautiful spreads in their bullet journals. And I thought, there's no way I can do that.
Yeah.
And then I got discouraged.
No way I want to do that. And so many people I talk to about bullet journaling think that's what it is.
Right. Yeah. And it is not. It is a way for, I mean, if you're an artist and that's how you want to spend your time, that's great. If it's a creative outlet, great.
Yeah.
But to think that the people like you and me who are just trying to get stuff done want to have themed, all these themes
right.
and art and so forth. I mean, I did watch my share before then I found the concept of minimalist bullet journaling, and I looked at those videos, and that was way helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what I needed.
Well, anytime I've talked to someone about bullet journaling, I say, just look at the Ryder Carroll stuff. Just look at the original, whatever it is, 2-minute video or 10-minute video. Mm-hmm. And whatever you do, don't go to YouTube. Don't Google bullet journaling.
Yeah. No, I think that's good advice. Although I will say Ryder's bullet journal is really unattractive and therefore not quite as appealing. So there is a middle ground.
There definitely is a middle ground, and it's more important to get the concepts than, form over, or not form, but what am I trying to say? You need it to work for you rather than look good.
Right.
Form over fashion. That's not right.
Function over...
Function over form.
Yeah.
And that's still not what I was trying to say, but you know what I mean.
And you want it to be sustainable, and it want it to be something that you'll actually use.
Right.
Right. So, yeah. I mean, I love my little pops of color. I love the little tiny bit of ritual that goes into it so far. And so that makes me happy that it look. Remember, I was doing hand-lettered task lists, right?
Right.
Yeah, and they're not hand-lettered anymore, but they're just written. But I do have a little bit of hand lettering in there that makes me happy. Oh, and then there's the app. Have you tried the app?
No, you were telling me about it, though.
Yeah. The app.
See, this is one of those things where you figure out, you take it just layers deeper.
Well, it's just because I started reading about it after you did, right?
Yeah.
So the app, which is called, I think, the Bullet Journal Companion app, and I think it costs $5. It is designed as a companion, not as a replacement, but it solves that problem. It has the ability to solve the problem of not having your journal with you at all times, because of course that's what I always loved about electronic task management was it's in my phone. I can always add to it, or I can always refer to it. With the app, the idea is that you have a library where you upload pictures of your pages. So, and I do that periodically. Mm-hmm. And also there's a log where you can dictate or type a task that you want to add to your physical log, and it will send you a reminder to transfer it. And if you don't transfer it in 3 days, it goes away.
Oh.
So it makes you do it or you lose it. That's
actually worthwhile, because I was thinking you could just use your notes app, or there's a lot of different ways you could kind of track this, but it's in the spirit of bullet journaling. Right.
Yeah. So it's really it's quite smart. And then you have this library of, if I have started doing it. If let's say I do this for 5 years, I'll have 5 years worth of my bullet journals in a library. So it's something nice about that, because I'm certainly never going to scan my bullet journals, I wouldn't think.
No.
How many journals do you have? Have you kept them all?
I have... Yeah, I think I have a box of them downstairs, and I have a drawer in a tower of drawers I have next to my desk that has probably, 8 or 10 in it.
You mean when I was staying at your house while you were in New York, I could have pawed through your archive of bullet journals?
Yeah, because it's fascinating. You want to know all the tasks I had to do over the last 5 years?
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that makes the bullet journal really powerful is that it's fresh every day or every week or every time you open it, depending on how you work with it. And I think that's one of the problems of all the other task management systems we've talked about, is that it's not fresh. You like end up looking at the same stuff over and over again, and there's not necessarily a feature to cause you to take action with them, even if that action is to move it to the next day.
Yes, I was thinking about that, and I didn't quite get it into those words in my head when I was thinking about the difference, like between this and the Trello thing. And it is that new attention, fresh attention every day to this stuff.
Right.
Whereas when it's just going stale in Trello, it often doesn't get done. And what I liked about my Trello thing was all my daily tasks got put in front of me every day. Well, I still have that actually with the bullet journal because I have my little tracker.
Right.
And then I write them down and get to cross them off too.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's such a powerful tool as long as you practice good enough and get started and let it evolve with the way that you work.
And I bet yours over 10 years has evolved quite a lot, right? And do you change it up with any kind of frequency, or is it all settled into itself?
I've been doing it the same way almost the entire time.
Interesting.
Yeah. I just really, that 1 week spread that I do is based on, remember the planner pad?
Sure.
It's based on the planner pad. That just always really worked at me, looking at, a week going across the page, and it helps me sort of plan my time better and helps me remember things more clearly. And I think I've been doing that from the very beginning.
That's great. So I know with the planner pad, well, I think I remember with the planner pad that it was the pages divided into thirds, and the top for a week, and the top third was tasks by category, the middle third was tasks by day, and the bottom third was your appointments. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, but because my journal pages are so much smaller, I have space to write about maybe 3 or 4 tasks by category, and then I have a small section for tasks by day, and then I have the day broken out by hour, where I fill in my appointments and sort of manage my time using that.
And so you're able to get a week's worth of tasks in a 2-page spread in that format.
Yes.
That's excellent. And also, it's a little bit self-limiting, which seems like a good thing, right?
Right. Yeah, you can't overdo it. Right. And I do it, I have 6 columns. Saturday and Sunday are in the same column. So it, you have a limited amount of space to put tasks in. And it is not, because, you can't do a whole lot more than that in a week.
Right. You have a fighting chance of getting it all done.
Right.
Rather than overloading.
Yeah. And then, with a habit tracker like you have, I don't have one going currently right now, but when I have done those, then that's all the daily stuff that I wouldn't put on my task list anyway.
Right. Hopefully that stuff's in your head anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need it on your task list. Oh, shoot. What was I going to ask? Gone. Oh, I know. Bingo. Are you still doing a task list bingo sometimes?
I do them sometimes, and I put them in my bullet journal.
Excellent. Yeah, I did one with the bullet journal, and it was more like a blackout. Like, it was all the tasks. It was 25 tasks. It was before I got diagnosed with COVID, and it was the tasks I needed to do before I left town.
Oh, right.
And I didn't get them all done before I left town, but I did get them all done. So that was nice. And it was a fun way to do it. And I like it when I flip through my bullet journal. I like seeing it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like being able to sort of flip through my bullet journal and see things. Sort of see what was on my mind, see what I was paying attention to. So yeah, it's the thing I keep going back to over and over. And even when I'm doing electronic task management, I still have my bullet journal going because that's what I'm taking notes in.
Oh, right. So if you're using electronic task management, does that mean you're not adding tasks to your weekly spread, or you're doing both?
It depends. I often will still do my weekly spread just because I find that writing it out by hand makes it stick in my memory better. And that a little bit of repetition is very useful. So I will often do the spread even when I'm concentrating, my task management on Todoist or something else. But what I will do is I'll look at Todoist and I'll take tasks from there and put it onto my weekly spread. So it's a little bit of duplication, but it works really well for me.
Oh, that's terrific. Yeah. That's great. Wow. Do you suppose you'd be willing to share one of your weekly spreads or an upcoming weekly spread just so people can see the format?
Yeah. And I have a picture of part of one anyway in Instagram already.
Oh, that's easy.
But yeah, but I will definitely share what it looks like.
Cool. And I'll throw out there that I also use what writer Carol calls collections. And I'm guessing, I'm wondering if you do too. Like I have a page for blog post ideas for peace of mind organizing, and on the facing page, blog post ideas for organize your family history. So when I come up with an idea, that's where I jot it. And since it's in the index, I can easily find it.
Yes.
Both for adding to and reading. And I have TV shows I want to watch and stuff like that.
Yep. I used to do more of that. I have more of that tracked electronically. But I've found all of that stuff useful.
And one last question. I feel like we're probably getting really long here, but do you do what writer calls a future log, where you where you have the months of the year at the beginning of the year? You write out all the months of the year? No. I have found that helpful for things like I use an electronic calendar like you do, but things like trips. I put a few trips in there, and just today I signed up for 6 months of stars for $20. So I marked in there 6 months hence to cancel or let myself know that the price is going way up in 6 months. So it was nice to have a place to put that, because in Trello I had a place for that. And,
right.
So I have. I think I'm finding that to be beneficial. Jury's still out.
Yeah. So, for anyone who wants to give this a shot, you don't even have to do all of the things that writer Carol suggests. Just start with what feels useful for you now, and then you can add things as you go.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Start less is more, I think, at the beginning, because it'd be very easy. I could totally see putting in all sorts of things you don't use. I don't use.
Right.
Yeah. So far, I use everything, but that is a definite possibility.
Yeah. And for people who get a little wound up about starting a new journal, don't start on the first page. Oh,
you mean people who think I don't want to mess up this beautiful journal?
Yeah. Start on the third page.
Yeah. Or start in a journal you already have. I mean, if perfectionism is a problem with getting started on it, like for me, I don't know whether, perfectionism felt like it was raising its head when I went onto YouTube, but I did have this soft cover, small but regulation size, but not many pages, journal that I thought, okay, this is great for December, and then I can work out the kinks. So you could start anytime in a journal that you've already written on. And, we all probably, most of us have, I have many journals, notebooks that I started for other things that fell by the wayside, but I still keep the notebook because it's nice. So you can start in there and play with it until you decide it's worth cracking open a beautiful journal.
Right. You could just do a practice version.
Right. Yes, that's what I did. In fact, it's
Yeah.
called, I put that on the front, I believe. I think it says trial, but yes.
Bullet journal trial.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome. Well, we would love to hear from you, our listeners. Do you bullet journal? Are you curious about it? Let us know if you decide to get started. You can head over to the show notes at gettingtogoodenough.com and leave a comment there. You can share with us on Facebook and Instagram at Getting to Good Enough, at Twitter at GTG Enough, or leave a voice message for us at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843. Until next time, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. Is recording this episode going to be the thing you write down on your monthly log?
For today, I think,
Yeah.
I think it will be, unless something more exciting happens, which is highly doubtful.
Oh, I'm sure.